Hello!
Hello, hello!
Welcome to Intertwined Stitches. I'm Stephanie, also known as XCO Mom on Ravelry.
I am Lakshmi, also known as Knitterbynature.
And welcome, this is episode 13, Lucky 13!
And today is Friday, November 15th?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yes, it is.
Halfway through November already.
Holy cow. I just started my Christmas knitting and I'm like, ah!
I'm starting to think about it.
I'm just keeping it simple and doing washcloths for most people with some nice soap. But I am going to do some other things for other relatives that are like special relatives, I guess.
Yeah, knit-worthy relatives.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm going to... My one aunt is terrified of Bigfoot, which is so silly because she's a grown woman, but she's terrified of Bigfoot, and in my new book that I got, there's a pattern for a little tiny Bigfoot, and I'm going to knit it for her.
Oh, that would be so funny.
I think I have... Yes, I do. I have brown fun fur right here in the stash.
Oh, that would be perfect for it.
So that's happening. So that's exciting. Yeah, how was your week and a half? We are a little late recording.
Yeah, we are.
Life got in the way this week.
I've been really busy working.
Yes.
The family I nanny for is getting ready to move into their new house next week. So... that means a lot of work right now getting ready to do it, but then I'm really excited because the drive to work is going to be half as far.
Woohoo!
So I'm going to save a lot of gas money and
which is
a lot of time.
My mom, I talked to her earlier this week, and she's like, sorry, I have been doing some cleaning and kicking up a lot of dust, and my allergies are like, no. Anyways, I was talking to my mom. She lives in Ohio, and she's driving in her car, and she's like, oh man, the price of gas went up from lunchtime. I'm like, oh, what is it? And she's like, it was $2.98 a gallon, and now it's $3.21. I'm like, Mom, the cheapest here is $3.41.
Yeah, a little jealous.
Yeah. Like, under $3 a gallon? What? Send me some of that.
Haven't seen that in a while.
No. I don't think I've seen that at all since I've been here in Connecticut.
Not for a few years.
Oh, we've been here for 3, and I don't think I've seen under $3 a gallon here. We always like when we go home to Ohio, because as soon as you get into Pennsylvania, the price of gas, like, shoo, we're like, yes!
Right.
Anyways, so you've been doing a lot of work.
And I guess the highlight of my 2 weeks was a package delivery from Knit Picks.
Woohoo! Oh, I totally didn't bring anything down here. Man!
Oh, you can always show it next time.
Yeah.
But I lived for good mail days.
Oh,
so
yes.
It was very exciting for me.
Yes, it was for me too. We went in together. Our past couple of weeks have been emotional ups and downs and very frustrating, and we had issues with my older son in school, and so we had to have a meeting with the principal and hash that all out. And it was not fun.
Yeah, that's never fun.
No. And then we've had
But you
doctor's
have
appointments and
advocate for your child, right?
indeed, and that's the thing. Like, my husband went to drop Xavier off at school today, and apparently the teacher was not giving my husband the friendly eyes at all, and he was like,
maybe she had a talking to.
oh, I know she did, because the principal said he was going to. But I mean, if I make an enemy, whatever, I stood up for my kid, so
right, you have to do that.
that's what's important for me. Anyways, so we've had a busy couple of weeks. My doctor, he did the whole BMI thing, and my levels are not where he wants it to be, and so like he did a whole panel of blood testing to see if there was something that he could fix to make me lose weight, and my blood, everything was perfect.
Okay.
So he's like, well,
gotta do it the old-fashioned way.
yeah. Although he's pushing for me to have surgery, have the lap band surgery.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, I don't really want surgery, so we're gonna try and do it on my own first. He's giving me 6 months, so hopefully that's why I started the thread in our board.
Get
to have
fit
people,
stitches.
yes, to have people help me, push me on.
I could use some encouragement too.
That's what everyone seems to be saying, so it's good. It's that time of year when lots of people let themselves indulge, so
yeah,
it's
we
going
could
to
just
be a
cover
little
up in
difficult.
all those layers, you know,
Right.
nobody notices.
And all the Christmas cookies, and I've already told my mom, I'm like, do not put candy in my stocking. Do not put candy in the boys' stocking. Please. But we still have Halloween candy in the house, and I'm finding it easier to just don't even look at it, just don't even think about it. So that's...
Good, we didn't have much, so
Well,
we lucked out in that department.
we had ×3, so...
Right.
Anyways, on to the knitting.
Yes.
Do you have any finished objects?
I had a finished object, but I don't have it with me today. I had started the barley hat without the garter ridge section for my husband, and I guess he liked it enough to wear it because
Hey!
I can't find it anywhere, and I think he's wearing it. He's a bit picky when it comes to his hats. Like, he just wants a plain, simple hat. And so I took this pattern and I just left out the garter ridge section, but he didn't like the decreases on the top. So I'm thinking maybe I'll make him a hat with pair decreases instead, like the Turn a Square by Jared Flood, but without the stripes, of course. It's just plain and simple and gray.
And so boring for you to knit.
Exactly.
My husband has been eyeballing the Wind's Chief pattern, and so I might make him one for Christmas.
Like that hat a lot.
Although my husband has a ginormous head.
Yeah, the barley came out a little bit slouchy. I even shortened it by 1/2 inch, but it was pretty slouchy for the large size, and it said you could even add another inch to make it slouchier.
Wow.
So I guess slouchy is in.
I have a couple finished objects. I have a finished yarn. It came out to be 385 yards, which I think is my longest yardage to date, and I've been spinning for like 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
So that's really exciting for me. It's kind of a maybe a heavy sport light DK.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, and I'm in love with it. I thought I was going to give it to my grandmother for Christmas because she's also a knitter, but then I'm like, but I love it. But it's my grandma, and she's special to me, so I'll probably still give it to her as a Christmas gift, so she can probably turn around and knit me something with it, because it's what she does.
Well, then you get it back in some way.
I sent her, when she first started getting into knitting, I sent her an old set of my interchangeables from, like, Boy or whatever, and Susan Base, whatever they were, and a bunch of yarn, and so far I've gotten all of the yarn back as, like, here's a washcloth, here's another washcloth, here's a pot holder. So
She loves to knit for you.
yes, everything I send to her comes back to me. I hope that the camera is not recording the way it just was filming me. It was very like If it is, I apologize.
Yeah, let's hope it stays right there.
I also have a finished object. This is the something vines pattern. It's free. It's in my projects. But there's that. Excuse my wheezing.
It's really pretty.
I really liked it. It was very easy. I think I did it in an evening while watching TV. And it looks sophisticated, especially with the single color.
That's what's fun about washcloths. You can play with different stitch patterns.
I don't know what the computer's yelling at us about, but sorry about that ding. Yeah, this was out of Knit Picks Shine Worsted. So, it's a cotton modal, I think? Cotton plant fiber.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's that. It's very pretty. I like it. I think this colorway is current.
It's really soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Very, like, floppy. So there's that.
Because I usually use the Comfy, which is a little bit, like, fuzzier.
I have one skein of that. I haven't used it yet.
Like it.
So, Christmas present. I'll probably do 1 or 2 washcloths together with a pack of nice soap all bundled up so it looks pretty. So there's that. And seriously, if you hear me wheezing, I really apologize. I said to Lakshmi before we started recording, maybe I should go get my inhaler. No, I'll be fine.
You'll be fine. let's hope.
Yes. If there's a rough cut in the middle of this, you'll know I had to run upstairs and get my inhaler. So what have you been working on?
Well, right now I'm working on the Citrons brand. I did have quite a big tangle when I last pulled this out at Rhinebeck, and I ended up having no knitting for Rhinebeck because this is the only thing I brought. But the outside of the ball had come unwound and tangled with, the yarn coming on from the inside, and I couldn't for the life of me get it untangled, so I just had to cut it all out. But I'm back to working on this. I haven't made a whole lot of progress. I'm still on section 5, but getting close to finishing that up. And out of 5 out of 10 sections.
Woohoo!
So this is on Knit Picks Stroll Bear in the bear color. And I used a size, 7 needles? Which is a 4.5 millimeter. And should I talk about my other things?
Sure.
Okay, so let's see. I have the Color Craving Mystery shawl by Stephen West. And same with this. This doesn't look much different than last time I showed you, because it's just a lot of knitting right now. And what did I say last time? Like 400 stitches on the needles.
Something ridiculous.
So if I can find the end. Okay. So I don't want to lose any stitches off my needle. So it doesn't look much different. Just going around and around, back and forth. So with short rows. And it's coming along, but ever since I got the yarn order from Knit Picks, I had to cast on new things.
Of course.
So the first thing I tried was the Hemlock Green Blanket.
How's that going?
Jared Flood. It's going great.
Wow, it's grown a lot since I saw it last.
This isn't even the one you saw, because
Uh-oh.
I got to a point, I think it was like row 35 on the flower section, and couldn't figure out, and I was tinking back, and tinking back was just torture. And I was just about here, so I figured just starting over was going to be easier than tinking. And it was. But I got to the same section, and I realized an error again, but this time I had put in lifelines.
Nice.
So I just ripped back to the lifeline, and that's the only part I had trouble on, where all of these feather petals were ending, and it was turning into this feather and fan section. And now that we're in the feather and fan section, it's much easier, and I don't even need lifelines, because I don't think there's a lace that's even easier than feather and fan. It's really simple, just decreases and yarn overs, and there's like 4 rest rows in between every patterned row.
Well, that's a good lace for beginners then.
Yeah. And I got 10 balls of Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Superwash. This is the new yarn they have. And it feels about the same to me as the regular Wool of the Andes, maybe a bit softer. Can't really tell. I'm just don't want it to felt, so that's the only concern I have. And this is the color Rouge. So that's
Which is a very... It goes with your outfit. You've got a whole
pink
monochromatic scheme going on.
Oh, by the way, today what I'm wearing, I always forget to mention what I'm wearing, but I'm wearing the Age of Brass and Steam kerchief that I knit out of my hand spun. And then I started one more project.
That pattern's in my queue.
Oh, yarn on for, which is the, okay, and there goes the
so much for your shawl.
Some Felted Clogs by Bev Galaskas. I think that's her name. Let me look at my notes. Yes. And this was Knit Picks Wool of the Andes, and I used the colors Blackberry and Fairy Tale. And I got one whole clog felted.
Super cute.
Or fold, that's the proper term.
Right.
For felting something. But it doesn't fit me, so... I tried it on every member of my family when I went to visit in Rhode Island, and it fits my little sister that has size 6 feet.
Does it fit you?
No, it doesn't fit me.
Aww.
So I'm going to make another pair with new colors for me, and that's why I have like kind of second slipper syndrome with this, because I know it's not
for you,
for me, and I'm probably don't need to give it to my sister for a while. So what I started was one for my husband.
Nice.
And I'm doing, that was the size women's medium, And this is the largest one.
Holy moly, that looks so big.
Is the men's size large.
That's awesome.
It is pretty big. So I've gotten the first layer done. You knit the sole, and then you knit the foot section, and then the cuff, and then you go back and knit another sole and attach it to this one, and knit a little bumper to go around. And I wasn't sure about the bumper, but when I did it, I liked how it came out.
I like it.
And it gives a little bit of a ridge on the bottom too.
I think it makes it look professional.
So I think I'm going to knit both these slippers and felt them together so I can control the felting a little bit better this time and make sure they match and everything.
It
like
still
one
cracks
at
me
a
up how
time.
big something is before it gets felted. Like, oh my
I
god! You would think your husband was a giant.
It's pretty. He does have big feet, but not this big. So that's been a lot of fun. It's like magic when you throw it in the wash, and it was like 3 times in the washer, and I really love this pattern so far. I mean, the only thing that's a pain is attaching the second sole because you have to knit 2 together all the way around. On both needles, the 2 needles.
Oh, that's
I think that's pretty much all I've been working on.
okay. I have been working on my trillion. It's grown a bit since last show. Ba-ba-da-da! I think I'm only like 1 gram into my 1 ounce.
You'll have plenty of yarn.
1 ounce into my 4 ounces. I'm not sophisticated enough to have grams. I showed my scale on VKM the other day. Last week from today. Anyways, and everyone was laughing because it is literally like a Weight Watchers scale from like 1990. It's not very reliable at all. So there's that. And that is out of the Bohemian fiber something. I don't know because it didn't come with a ball band. But I love it. I like how it's working out. I haven't been knitting on it as much because, like I said, I'm trying to do Christmas presents, and this is selfish knitting, so. But I got that. I cast on a hat for my wee child. And so there's this. I've got I'd say probably about half of it done.
It's cute, nice and chunky.
Yes, it is. I think it's the wool of the Andes in the bulky.
Okay.
And the colorway is Anchors Away. It might not be the wool of the Andes. I don't know.
I like how it's striping.
Yeah, it's I like it. So there's that.
So for the youngest?
Yeah, for Owen. And I keep trying to try it on him, and he's like, no, Mama, no hat, no. Come on.
Especially one that's like still connected to the needle and everything.
Like, come on, kid. And then my husband keeps complaining about it getting colder and how he wants me to work on these gloves. So did I show these last week? No. Okay. I picked them back up last week. I had one of the So Say We Alls. These are Battlestar Galactica mittens by Bako Knitter. I think the pattern's actually called Cylon Centurion Mitts or something like that. But I'm knitting these for my husband. So they have like a chevron-y checkerboard on the front. And the back says, So Say We All. Because I'm cool like that. And so I'm making these for my husband. It'll have, this is what it, is it too much to show the charge? I don't want to give anything away, but my front side is sucky. So it'll have So Say We All across the palm, and then it'll have the Cylons and the Battlestar Galactica on the front. And it's a lot. I think I am on row 15 of 75. But I was knitting these on my Chiagus, however you pronounce those, the red. And they were so sharp. Every time I was knitting it would make me bleed. Every time. Excuse me. So I switched to those needles that I got from China a couple weeks ago. And
Right.
it's so much smoother. I did a whole So Say We All in like one night.
And what's the yarn you're using?
I knew you were going to ask me that. It's from Webs. Oh, here we go. Yes. It's the Northampton Sport. It's 100% wool. It's not superwash.
Nice.
And the colorways I have are burgundy, light gray, and black.
Okay, that's really
So there's the gray.
straightforward there.
Yep. Burgundy. And, of course, the black. So it's just some stranded color work, and I was so proud of myself. I was knitting on them, and I was using both hands. Like, I was doing the Continental in this hand and, like, throwing with this hand. I'm like, Jeff, look at me! I'm doing it! Lakshmi and I took a, how to
knit differently.
Yeah, how to knit differently at Webs over this summer. No, it was spring. Springish.
I think it was May, yeah.
Yeah. And so she was teaching us to do Continental and all the other kind of like color work with two hands, and so I was doing it. I'm like, yes, that wasn't for nothing.
I've been practicing that too with those color work owl mitts I was using.
Nice. It was a fun class. If you can go to it, I would recommend it, because even if you don't end up using what she teaches you all the time, you still have some new skills.
Yeah, and it was inexpensive too.
Yeah, I think it was only, what, $35? Mm-hmm. And it was a 4-hour class? 4.5 hour, 5, something like that. It was pretty long. And also, from my new book, I got the Rebecca Danger, 50 Yards of Fun. I love it so much. Thanks, Mom. It was an early Christmas present. She bought it for me like a month ago, and she's like, I'm just going to send it to you because you've been having a bad week. But I'm doing the Rebecca Danger ornament in a cup swap, and my partner requested either monster or a robot, and the new pattern has a cute little robot. So
it is cute.
I
love it.
I added the control panel on the front because, to me, her robot is this guy here on the front. And he doesn't scream robot to me. I was like, I feel like he needs something more mechanical about him. He still needs an antenna. That's picked up in it afterwards. But there he is. He's so cute and so tiny. And here comes my son. What, honey?
We're almost done.
Go back upstairs, please.
Mommy, I have to tell you something.
What?
I did it all over again.
That's fine.
Can I just tell you one more thing?
What?
I'm hungry.
I know. We'll get lunch as soon as we're done recording.
Almost done. See
And
you
right
in a
now
few
you're
minutes.
making it take longer, so go back upstairs and we'll be fast, okay?
Are you going to have lunch with us, Lakshmi?
No, I think I'm going to go home and have lunch, but thanks for asking.
And we'll edit this back in about here. Okay, we had to take a slight detour there. Anyways, I'm saying that he needs some legs and an antenna and an arms, but other than that, he's done. And because he is for a Christmas swap, I'm going to knit him a little green scarf. So, that's that. My husband picked the sparkly red to go in him.
I like how you added the control panel. That was really smart.
I feel like it makes him look more,
Yeah, more like a robot.
yeah, like, oh, hey, that's a robot, not, I'm not sure what he is.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's that. And the book has lots of fun patterns. I'm not sure what my robot's knit out of. It was in my scrap basket. It's random gray. I think it might be cotton that I had originally bought for my husband's Battlestar Galactica mitts before I was like, cotton? Why on earth would I make mittens out of cotton?
Not so warm.
No. Oh, and here's the Bigfoot that I said I'm going to make for my aunt for Christmas. Isn't he cute? I love him. He's so cute.
Oh, he is.
So, my boys are like, Mom, can you make me the platypus and the luchador, lucha libre wrestler and the ninja? And so those are probably going to be stocking things for them because that's a lot of work for nothing.
Fun.
So, yep, that's all I've been working on.
So you didn't bring down your stash?
No, I didn't. Oh, and I started my needle felting.
Oh, you did?
I did.
How's that going?
I did it one night, and I made a cute little mushroom, which I think, excuse me, I'm going to wipe my nose. Maybe that will also get edited out. Maybe. I made a cute little mushroom. It's purple and like screaming neon green, and it turned out really cute, and I was so proud, and my eldest son was like, okay, that's now mine, Mom, thanks. And he ran off with it, so of course the middle kid was like, Mom, I want something. So I made him a little rabbit real quick, and they were happy with them, and I poked the crap out of my hand.
I was going to ask you. You know what? I just saw this trick somewhere where you hold a piece of cardboard around it and poke it like that.
My finger, like you can still see the little
Oh, yeah.
And then when they went to bed, I decided to do something a little more complicated, and I was so frustrated about the whole school situation, and the felting was a nice aggression reliever because you have to stab the crap out of this this felt for like until it's hard, essentially. And so I'm like and I had been just doing it on my lap, like I had a book or my Kindle Fire on my lap because it has a nice leather case, so I knew it wouldn't ruin it, I guess. And that wasn't really working because the needle couldn't go all the way through. It just hit the leather and stopped. And so I got, we had this big sponge, and that's what a lot of the people were selling to do it on, was big sponges. So I got out the big sponge, and I made a little wizard, and I wanted to bring him down and show it. He's so cute. He's got like a long flowy beard and a big top, or a big pointed hat, and I even put a little moon and little spots for stars, and he's so cute. He's got a little nose. So I'll show that next week, but that's going to go to my mom because she's very much into that sort of thing. So
yeah, I was thinking if I make more clogs, I'd like to play around with needle felting some designs on them.
Yeah, that would be fun. And it's, like I said, it's a nice tension reliever. I'm sitting there like stabbing. I'm like, ow! And my husband's like, oh good, I was hoping we could find a more dangerous hobby for you because the pointy sticks and the drum carder weren't bad enough because I'm kind of accident prone. And when I say kinda, I mean really accident prone. My husband bought me an electric can opener one year for Christmas after I had cut my fingers 3 times to the point of I probably needed stitches.
Ouch.
So he bought me an electric can opener, and on the gift tag for it said, "From your fingers, please stop making us bleed." So yeah, I'm pretty accident prone, so he's very nervous about me having this needle that I'm constantly like stabbing myself. And I went to tie my son's shoes the next day, and my thumb was so sore. I'm like, ow, what did I do? Oh yeah. I think I counted, I had like 11 pokes all over my fingers from
Pointy
it.
needles.
But it was fun. Oh, and I've just been using the single needle, and they have this special tool that like holds 6 needles in it, and so it makes it go faster.
Oh,
and I'm like, I was like, I really want that. And my husband's like, no, it's not gonna happen. No, you'll have 60 pokes instead of 10.
Right.
So it's fun though. If you guys haven't tried it, you should.
Yeah.
I have like 5 bags of fleece that I still need to wash in the downstairs bathroom over here. So I think a lot of that's going. I told my husband, like, look, I already have all the tools and the stuff I need. If I need a special color, I can just dye it up.
That's true.
So it's all very exciting. I was thinking about doing some ornaments that way for Christmas instead of just washed clothes because it's a lot faster.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So, and maybe for teachers who don't like me anymore.
Bribe them with some gifts.
Look what I made. So
I do have a couple things for stash
stash.
enhancement.
Now that I've been yammering on for 20 minutes.
I just got some swish in this, what color is this? Garnet Heather for my husband's boss's hat. Probably going to use this color. Nice. I haven't decided what I'm going to do for the wife yet. I have some Elizabeth Lavold silky wool in that wheat color that I had used for my drizzle I was wearing last week. Some leftover, so I might make a hat out of that.
So nice.
Because she likes like neutral colors. And then I talked about getting this Knit Picks diadem last week. And this is the 50% baby alpaca, 50% mulberry silk, and it's really soft. It's really nice.
Is that also garnet?
Oh yes, this is garnet. This is also garnet. So this will be the traveling woman shawl when I have less projects on the needles than I do now. I can only cast on like how many new projects this week, right? And then I got just some Knit Picks gloss in this sweetheart color so I could swatch for my Lush sweater.
You're very pinky and purpley this week.
I know, like lately. I know what it is about me. So,
I'm rubbing off on you.
So I did a swatch, a pretty big swatch, and I'm going to play around with, like embroidery and stuff with it, because why waste a nice, perfectly good swatch?
She's going to make our logo with it.
Maybe, possibly. Anyway, swat on for gauge, so, at some point I'll be making the Lush sweater.
Oh, nice. I've been seeing a few baby Lush sweaters on Instagram. They're so pretty.
If I had a baby to knit for, I'd probably make a lot of baby sweaters because you can try out the patterns and get the enjoyment of knitting the sweater without all the work. And I think that's all I have. The other stuff, I just got the different colors of wool, and I think I'll be getting more colors for clogs. And now that I made a couple clogs, I'm really excited about doing different color combinations and playing around with it.
That'll be fun. They are really cute. I want to make some. I want to make some for my boys, but I'm afraid since they're clogs, they'll be like, Mom, I can't keep it on my feet.
Or if they'll slip around the house. Well, you have carpets.
Yeah,
so.
pretty much everywhere, except the bathrooms and downstairs in the kitchen. But yeah, we'll see.
There is a separate pattern for the children's clogs, but it's another $7 for the pattern. So
some pattern writers, I mean, good on them. They wrote all that. That's their hard work. But $7 for both the adult sizes and the kid sizes.
And I already had the pattern, but I couldn't find it, so I downloaded it. Now I have the PDF version. So paid for it twice.
Man, and you didn't even get to get the kid version.
I know. So that's all I got for this week.
I've been thinking that, oh, by the way, thank you for all the contest winners. I just got everyone's information yesterday.
Yay!
So those will be going out in the mail today whenever we run into town to get groceries. I will be editing out what my kid said, but he's like, Mom, I'm hungry. Can we have lunch now? So we got that to do too. Before we came down, he's like, Mom, can I have a snack? I'm like, what do you want? And he's like, can I have an apple? I'm like, we're out of apples. He's like, can I have a banana? We're out of bananas. So we really need to go to the grocery store.
Out of everything.
Yeah. It happens when you have a busy week.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry about the coughing this episode. I really hope if you're listening with earbuds, I don't blast you out. I apologize.
And we're getting pretty close to 100 members in the Ravelry group. So if you're not a member, go ahead and join, because once we get 100 members,
we're going to have a giveaway.
We're going to have another giveaway.
I was going to say that. That's what I almost said. That I was like, oh, I should talk about the prize winners from last time. But yes, we're going to have a giveaway. Not sure what yet. Maybe a pattern.
And I have a skein of yarn too, so.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I think we're only 13 members away from having 100?
Last I checked, it was 89, so.
Oh, even less. I was kind of. Never mind, it's not relevant. Anyways, we've chatted enough. Have a great week. I hope that you have lots of happy knitting. And for those of my stitches keeping me real on the Fitboard, let's do this.
Let's get some motivation going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for your motivation and your great ideas and your delicious recipes, because those are much appreciated. Much appreciated. So anyways,
bye.
Have a good week.
Happy knitting.
Happy knitting.